And this is our supplement to our previous video pertaining to gaps on July the 26th. Very interesting what's happened today. Yesterday, as you will notice from our video that we posted, we stated yesterday, sorry for the delay here, that there were gaps in the SPOOs at 71.25, but we noticed that there was also a gap at 70.75. We stated that gaps are always filled. It is very interesting that although this was run on the 19th of April, those gaps existed. It took till now for the gaps to be filled. But the point of the matter is, gaps are always filled. Now, take a look at this. This is so compelling. Yesterday, the gap at 1471.25 got filled. We also noticed a major move up in the trend just before this, and that filled the trend gaps that we had talked about. Moments later, we filled the low. Very compelling. Now, in looking at the gaps that were created as we came down on the SPOOs yesterday, let me show you what we saw. Yesterday's drop left all sorts of gaps in data. We see gaps here between 76, 75, and 76. We see more gaps down here between 75 and 74 and a quarter, then between that and 73 and a half. Then we have a gap between 72, 75 and 73.25. We've got another gap between 72 and 71, okay, along with the gap shown from way back on April 19th. And below that, at least in the few days prior to that, there were no further gaps below 68.25 until you come to a major gap at 58.25 to 56.75. Big gap there. Okay, and we even have gaps below that between 55.50, 54. That may take a while before we get down there, but we're going to go back down there, friends. If you thought that this was the end of the sell-off, think again. Alright, so let's take a look at something else. We were tracking the VIX gaps that were created from yesterday. Alright, VIX gaps that were created yesterday on the 27th. These gaps at 22.45, there was also one at 23.25. Alright, on the VIX. And notice as the SPOOs dropped down here into the gap fill at 70, 75, the VIX at that point in time was 22.39. Bring up our data window. Let's get the VIX. Okay, here's the VIX. The gap was at 22.45. It's not filled yet. Still not filled. Here it's 22.44. The gap was at 22.45. We have a big jump there at 11.34. And as soon as that gap is filled, the VIX turned. Now, we're not suggesting that it's through going up, but it's interesting that when the gap was filled, we saw a move. A move up, well, a move down in the VIX, correspondingly a move up in the SPOOs. But the pattern of the day suggests that we're going to be continuing this short at least into the afternoon. So again, gaps are filled. We've proved it 2 days in a row, just simply because we have the data. No other place in the world keeps track of gaps like we do. We've got the data. We've got the ability to show you where those gaps are, and they make a tremendous impact on trading. Notice something here. Any of these short trades that would have been taken, say at a fill at 14.90 into the gap fill here with the long trade at 14.70, roughly speaking. Well, let's just say 14.72. All right. If that were to occur, that's an 18-point move. Can you live with that? I think so. Risksys.com. RSKSYS.com. We can show you how we do it. Buy our system. It's worth it.